Now, let's meet our special guest for the morning, ladies and gentlemen, David Vente! Nice to see you. Now, as one half of Dollar, David had a string of top 10 hits in the 70s and 80s, including Love's Got a Hold of Me and Mirror, Mirror. And as we said, not looking bad either. There's a story behind that, isn't there?
Checks in the post. Yes, there is a little story. I've just done a show called Pop Goes the Band, which is all about drastic plastic makeover show. You could have just a haircut or surgery.
Just a haircut or surgery. That's quite a long...
Depends how brave you are or stupid you were. I think I was both, but I had a little mini lift here, you see, and they pinned it up here. It's still healing.
Right. And
those ladies that sit on the couches and say, oh, just a bit of bruising and, you know, and, but nothing... Rubbish.
It looks like a car crash.
Yeah, I had 4.5 hours of surgery and, you know, I didn't really know what I was letting myself in for. I remember going into surgery singing, I've got you under my skin. I've been all flash in front of the cameras. And they would go, aren't you a bit tense, aren't you? I said, would you want tense? I was doing a bit of that for them. And it took me 2 days after surgery to realise what I'd done. You know, how drastic, you know, measure I'd taken.
Well, that's what it's like, because I was thinking it must be very weird if you're Michael Jackson to look in the mirror and see a face come back that isn't actually yours in any shape or form. You're nothing like Michael Jackson. What is it like, though, to see your face change, though? Because it must be extraordinary.
You know, I suppose a successful facelift would really be that you wouldn't necessarily notice it too drastically. The idea is just... For me, was either go on a diet, of course, which would take too long. I'm not very good at diets. Was just to take a little bit under the neck away and pull it up and pin behind the ears. So I'm not actually frightened cat. Do you know what I mean? That scared look. So there's still a bit of jowls and a few wrinkles left, but it was just...
And how much bruising and how long? Did it really show?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. I was like a mummy when I came out with all the bandages. I mean, when the surgeon came in to check me, I got out of bed and went, Daddy, Frankenstein, you know.
Is it like looking at how you used to look? In as much as... Do you see your old self coming back at you rather than how you were before you had the op?
If it makes you look young, it doesn't make you look younger, I don't think. Hopefully, it just makes you look good, a little bit better. It takes some of those... I had some stuff under the eyes done as well, took the bags away and the dark rings, etc., and any sort of, you know, turkey neck and anything like that. So you just feel a lot more
David, you seem to be hanging on every word.
I'm intrigued, actually. I mean,
Interested?
No, I'm not interested. No, I'm not.
Hands up who believes David.
I love the fact no one believes me.
One half hand. That's what we got there.
Not at the moment is the answer to that. And I've often had conversations with people and friends who do those surgical operations, but they're fairly drastic operations. You know, we are talking major surgery here, and there are complications as a result. So I'm intrigued. And are you happy with it?
Yes, more or less. It's still settling down. There's still a few bumps, and it's about 10 weeks old. And it really takes about 6 months to really settle down.
Right?
I'm still a little bit numb here. I've got stitches just inside my temple there, and I can feel them. But, you know, it's settling down, and we're getting there, you know.
Your face,
not impressed,
Jasmine.
No, I am. I know. I tell you what is very impressive is that, unlike women, you don't keep it a silly secret.
Yes, good point.
Well, no,
that's good.
It was difficult. I was doing a TV show.
Very good. That's very good.
But
I have some silly lies. I mean, I've heard people making such excuses, you know. I think if I ever did it, I'd wear a burqa for a month and say that, you know, it's a journalistic experience.
Or you just wear a burqa full-time and don't bother.
Exactly. And actually, you know what?
That's the cheap way.
You know what? That's a really good idea.
Now, unbelievably, some people working on this show have never heard of Dollar. What? Mind you, they'd never heard of Hawkwind either. So here's a little reminder of David's band from 1979. Fascinating looking at the younger kids, because it's kind of like, it's just like going through a time machine for them, isn't it? They have no idea that that's what it used to be like.
But a lot of the fashion's back, of course. You know,
Yeah.
it's all over the place, the fashion these days. So 70s and flares are back and etc.
And what happened after Dollar?
Well,
Teresa Bazaar?
Teresa Bazaar was my singing partner.
Yeah.
She's in Sydney, Australia. She's out there. We had hits between 1978 and 1988. And at the end of '88, I got into a bit of trouble. And it was being a children's centre sort of teeny bops idol. It was the end of that, really, in those days. When, you know, today there's people doing drugs and everything. They don't get nicked. Nothing happens to them.
Yeah.
But in those days, it was very much a big deal. So that really was the end of it for a while. And I went off and did some cabaret. I joined Bucks Fizz for a while. We're doing all the holiday camps and things like that. And went into Civvy Street, where what I call Civvy Street, which is doing some PR and communications. I joined the Conservative Party. I ran as a councillor.
Because I heard you, this is quite recently, wasn't it, you ran as a councillor?
That's right.
Do you two know each other?
Yeah, that's how we met. It's down in Brighton, actually.
OK, so you do, OK.
Yeah, because David was standing as a local councillor when I first took over as the
Yasmin's looking now, yeah.
You're surrounded!
It's like a living hell for you, isn't it, Yasmin?
2 Davids, 2 Tories. What am I going to do?
And it's David Cameron's birthday. It's like we got the whole set.
Exactly.
Now, listen, it's great to have you here, and we're going to talk a little bit more about life after Dollar. It's an inspiration for one of our parts in a little while. But first, I should tell you people at home about today's show. It's going to kick off with David taking us through the headlines.